Good morning, guys. How we doing? All right, these are collective and timeless reads. I read energetically, intuitively, so a lot of times I get messages and I pull from the energy from the cards. So just take whatever resonates for you. And I've also got a couple of messages coming through. My leg is, what do you call it when you move your leg? I'm trying to stay grounded, but there's a lot coming through right now. So I'm feeling this strong push of like a need to rally each other right now. Okay. There's been a couple of big things coming to me. So one of the bigger things is, and you can go listen to that Pluto Bean reading. He speaks on this as well that I posted on my page. There are specific tests, obviously, that each of us are going to go through, but there's also these patterns that you can start to see, and they're going to be related. Like I've seen some specifically with me, with certain people that I attract related with the father wound. And I'm sure it's the same thing with the mother wound. So it's like, the more that you can connect the dots, the more that it's going to help you to be able to, I don't know how, or if we have any control over these cycles just ending, but at least it will help you to catch it when it happens. There's been a lot of pump faking lately. I don't know what's going to be next, but there's just this like acceptance and knowing too that this is the journey going forward. It's going to keep changing, but it's like the tests are not going to just stop. The ops are not just going to be like, okay, you get, the rest of your life off or whatever. Like, it's not going to be like that. So, there's a deep need. Strength is coming through hard, and surrender. So strength, that your surrender is your strength as well. I'm getting strength coming through for you to pull yourself out. If you're in a rut right now, to pull yourself out of that rut, to help you get back into your natural state, which is, they're giving like the Nine of Pentacles, that feeling of stability and like standing on your own. And, I might take some more breaths, y'all. I had to push through almost having a panic attack this morning, and then my energy's just been go, go, go. And so I'm trying to say, but they're like, use it. So anyway, yeah, and this so the Two of Wands is like feeling, being in that middle way, knowing that you have options, like not being trapped, not feeling trapped, not knowing that you're not trapped. Like, it's like the Two of Wands is a very open energy of like, I'm the creator, like I'm choosing which way I go type of thing. There are some stories coming through and I'm trying to figure out which ones. The big theme that came to me earlier when I was meditating is that it's like the Pilgrims and the Indians. We had that happen. I remember I always liked that. Like all of the stuff that had to do with Native Americans when I was a kid, I just thought it was fascinating and like so cool. And, but it's funny to me how our culture, because it's very similar with Halloween, although that one I think is more like just really sick and disturbing. But like it's funny to me how it's like we try to, like with kids and everything, they'll do skits and they'll make it seem like it's cute. And when it was like this huge battle and this like very, very corrupt situation. So I want that came to me because it's like, we're on social media. So that you're constantly being watched, you don't have privacy, you're being tracked, but it made me think back on like the fact that it was like the Native Americans, they got hunted down, like they were tracked down. I don't know how did the people find them? I have no idea. And maybe some of them they happened upon them. I don't know all the stories because I'd have to, and even if I did read them, there still is like, who knows what's the what part is truth. The whole like, Leif Erikson was the actual original whatever dude, but they said it was Christopher, it's always been this way. So that was kind of what came to me, is I'm like, you can't escape this battle. Like, you can't escape this. And it was giving me like the Native Americans choosing to live this very primitive life where they were very focused on, again, this is just from what I've learned too, because there's only so much that we know, but like, they were focused on keeping things sacred and like honoring the earth and all of these things. And it's like very ancestral to me. And that versus like the white man who was coming in to divide and conquer and defeat, and like very greed driven, very, entitled, very egotistical. Like, they just had this right to do this because they felt threatened. And, instead of us working it out together. And that was like how many years ago, you know? So, it's like this is the way it is on earth. And it's like, I remember being more on my shadow side and being more and having more security. And I didn't feel this energy all the time. It was like, there were times of conflict and stuff, but it wasn't like, because you're playing that in those devil games. But the more you come out of the light, the more and more you start to see this energy coming up against you. I want to give a quick story because it was coming to me of like one of the first things I remember dealing with. As I had what I felt like was a Kundalini awakening. And I know there was this energy that was activated within me that I hadn't felt before. There was this empowerment that I hadn't felt before. There was this, I'm not just going to people please the rest of the way through my life, or I didn't know I was fawning. I mean, there were all of these things, and like this feeling of like just embracing and loving my body and myself the way it was, and how like powerful that made me feel. And it was also mixed with this sort of lustful energy that it was almost like my sacral came online or something like that, just in a new way. And I remember I was teaching in a gym, and I was like doing all this lifting, and there were all these men, and there was all this sexual tension. And I literally had guys like just trying to get with me. And it's not like I'd never experienced something like that, but not in that type of way where it was like, how would you describe it? Like, I mean, the amount of like assertiveness that these guys used, because it wasn't like I was like outwardly seeking that, but I just felt, and I still to this day, I haven't felt that energy in a long, long time, of just feeling like in my body, feeling sensual, feeling sexy, loving, like I do love myself, but like it's just, and I wasn't in a state, like of survival. But I had enough awareness, I guess, at that point, and I wasn't that tight. I only was intimate with guys that I was dating. Like there was one that was kind of a fling, but it was still someone that I was like repeatedly like dating and seeing. So, that's, I think, why it stood out to me so much, because I was just like, I'm not used to this forward, like, type of pursuit. And that's definitely one of this lust, is one of the sins. So it was like I had to like get through that without succumbing to it, because I was technically not with my ex at that point. And now there's different patterns. There's different things that I'm having to move through that I'm realizing that are used against me. Like, I keep making these posts about different jobs, and I'm gonna try to get through this, and with him in the background, of these different like side jobs, and I get crickets. I don't get any response, and it can't just be me. It can't just be irony. Like, there's got to be something. Teddy, take it down, or taking it away. So it's figuring out what the patterns are and what the blocks are for you, and you, I guess, discerning a strategy for yourself of how to persevere through it. Okay. this Hanged Man is sitting here with this High Priestess. So it's like you're very tapped in. There's always going to be the ops that are trying to dilute that, trying to pull you into delusion. So you have to stand firm in that. You have to use your strength to remind yourself why you're here, what you're doing, what your mission is, what you want to do in this lifetime. We have the Star on the bottom. So it's kind of like shining regardless, like pushing yourself if you're in survival to try to still show up. Page of Swords is on the bottom, just making sure we know that they're watching. All right, so we have this Wheel of Fortune between the Devil reversed and this Four of Cups overturned. So that may be some of the battles that some of what you're fighting right now is this addictions or codependencies that you've used in the past, or yeah, and they're giving me like ways of being. So it's like there's this part that we're working through healing through this and finding new ways of being. Because they're giving that, you know, like this wheel is upright. So it's like the wheel, the fortune is on your side. So, and the Four of Cups reverse is definitely getting like loneliness. So it's finding ways to connect with your spirit team, or reach, like making still shining. That's one way that I found that, like, when I push myself to even ask my guides for help, ask for help in like feeling connected again, or helping me to light that fire, that there will be something that happens where you get that reflection. Because even that, sometimes it'll just be like sometimes it'll be something like someone posts something and that resonates for you, and it's something that you needed to hear, and that gives you that feeling, that gives you that feeling of being seen or heard that you really need. Because I don't have the answers as to like the ways that we can connect, because also I think it's individual. Like I think that's going to be particular to you and your journey of like how you can find soul tribe and how you can connect with them and that sort of thing. I don't want to get really squirrely, so I want to get off of here before that. All right, so our Page of Wands is back upright, and that's that energy I'm getting from a lot of the people maybe that connect with me or connect with this on here, that you have a very adventurous spirit. So it's like I'm getting like you're finding new ways to explore and to let that energy guide you. That's kind of pairing with this surrender over here. So I think we're moving. I think it's been really crazy and intense, but the cards are very like powerful and positive. I hope that connected with the right person. I hope that you guys are okay. I'm sending you so much love and strength and positivity. I'm seeing more of these patterns now in my own life. I am going to leave my information. If anybody wants to send anything is greatly appreciated. It helps me to feel secure and to feel supported and to know that I can keep pushing myself to come on here and do my part, and so that my family is supported the way that we need to be, because I need to get us to a different place that we and I don't need to be leaning on certain people anymore. I'm walking away from that. So even just you guys listening and showing up and sending good energy, of course, anything is appreciated. All right, you guys, I love you so much. You got this. You're badass. Thank you for inspiring me and showing up and being here. I love you.